Hello friends, welcome to my tarot once again. My channel is Other Musing, where I try to present monthly and weekly tarot readings based on inner guidance. So today we are going to see what is it that you could be doing wrong and what sort of course correction you need to come out of the existing situation, to come out of the existing circumstances that can lead to potential improvements in your life and in your surroundings. So this will be all about some guidance based on tarot, some guidance that will hopefully help you to do things a little bit differently than what you are doing right now, to understand your mistakes and what you need to correct those in the coming days. So this will be a timeless reading. So whenever you are seeing this reading, it should apply to your life at that point. And it's a general reading, so no matter how much I try, not everything that I say may resonate with everyone. And things may be a little bit different depending on your circumstances, your life situations. So please choose whatever resonates with you and ignore the rest. And there are 4 groups in front of you. This is the group number 1. This is a amethyst crystal. This is group number 2. This is a obsidian, black obsidian. This is group number 3. This is a howlite, which is a form of calcite. Group number 3. And this is group number 4, which is apatite, green apatite. So again, we have an amethyst over here, group number 1. We have an obsidian over here, group number 2. We have howlite, or a form of calcite, which is group number 3. And then we have apatite, which is group number 4. So take your time, pause the video if needed, and then see which one you are drawn to, which one you are more inclined to based on your gut feeling. So choose, that will be your group, and I'm going to leave these 4 groups in front of you for about a minute or so that you can take your time. You can go into a little bit of meditation to calm down your mind before you choose your group. And once you have chosen your group, the group descriptions and the timestamps will be given in the description box below. So just click on the timestamp corresponding to your group, and I'm going to meet you in your respective group. So I will see you over there, and I'm going to leave these groups in front of you for about a minute or so. Bye. Hello, my group number 1. For those of you who have chosen this crystal of amethyst, this will be your group. We'll see what kind of things that you may be doing wrong and what you can do to correct it going forward. What is your course correction? So now, even before going into the into the tarot cards, group number 1, I think amethyst. You may be going through some sort of stress, and so you may have been, going through a situation, where you have been more irritated. You may have been prone to more bouts of anger, frustration, grief, and so this is, I think, talking about coming out of that phase and looking forward. It's basically finding your inner that, that inner happiness or that inner inspiration that you may have lost because of some adverse situations in the past. So I think it's like more about rediscovering your inner passion, your inner urge after coming out of that that kind of a dark phase where you may have lost that urge to do anything. You may have kind of gone through that phase of loss of self-belief, loss of any positive thoughts. You may have you may have been going through a phase where you are beginning to lose faith in yourself. So this is, I think, talking about that turning around and once again reassuring yourself that you can do it, that you have it in you. So this is all about that. So let me see what the tarot has to say. Okay, so yeah, so definitely, as I was saying, it's something to do with, that you have a lot of potential, but you are not being able to fulfill it at this moment. And so let me see what else. Yes, so you need to come out of something that's probably holding you back, that is not letting you move ahead and not letting you, realize your full potential, right? So it could be, this could be to an extent, your own rigidity, your own, that lack of, or your own inability to move ahead, to let it go, and to look further ahead. Also, in some of your cases, this could be something. It's either an emotional situation or it's some sort of an adverse situation that has caused some torment in you, that has caused some irritation, as I was saying before, some stress in you, and you may be partly or wholly responsible for this. That's what I get. So I think it's your way of thinking, your way of dealing with other people, your way of treating yourself, that could also be part of the problem here. Yeah, so definitely the Ten of Swords and the Magician both have come out reversed. So it's definitely that you are not being able to come out of that situation easily, right? It's something that has happened. But but the good thing is, you are beginning to come out actually. Sorry, I correct myself over here. So I think that wheel is slowly beginning to turn, right? And you are still stuck in that situation, to a large extent. But I think it is telling you that you need to slowly start turning it around. Slowly turn that wheel the other way, and slowly start looking beyond this unpleasant situation, whatever it is, right? And start realizing your potential, right? And maybe start becoming a little bit more, flexible in your opinion, in how you treat yourself, how you treat others surrounding you, right? So yeah, I think, so the Eight of Pentacles over here is also come out reversed. So right, so I think you have lost that passion, right? So you are, as I was saying before it at the very beginning, right? It's like you've lost that urge to try, to move ahead, right? So because Eight of Pentacles, it talks about, that putting in that work, putting in that hard work, putting in that labor to achieve something. Right, so when I look at this and when I look at the Magician, it's like you have it in you, but you are not pushing it forward. You are not giving you're not exerting your effort to reverse this situation. I think you are still stuck in that, especially with the Ten of Swords over here. Right, it's like you are stuck. You are, that new beginning is not happening for you. Right. Yep, as I was saying about the new beginning, I see the Death card over here. The Death card has come out reversed too, right? So generally the Death talks about a new beginning, a positive beginning, right? So it's like, you are too stuck in the situation. So the Death card and over here the Ten of Swords. It basically reiterates the same thing again and again. It's like you are not being able to let go, right? So you need to let go. You need to, whatever that unpleasant situation is, it's, and I think it's maybe to an extent and some sort of a emotional heartbreak or some sort of a deceit from some near one. And again, when I say that near one, I have to also say that, you may have had a large play in this, you may have had a large role in this, right? So maybe, you are not fully faithful in a situation, or maybe, you are too rigid in your dealing with others. Maybe, you are too high-handed in your dealing with others, right? So you need to widen your vision, you need to widen your horizon, you need to, place more trust in yourself. Maybe you are being too hard on yourself, right? Right? And that's why, you are unnecessarily cursing yourself, you are unnecessarily putting more stress, more burden on yourself, where you should be rather, spending that effort to really, in a more positive pursuit, which you are not doing, though you have the potential. So that's why you are still stuck in that situation and you're not being able to move ahead. Right? So yeah, so I think it's time for you to, find that inner urge, to become more stable, to bring back that calmness, to bring back that, that inner drive, that inner urge. Yep, the Knight of Swords and the King of Wands side by side. So yes, again, so it's time for you to, move ahead. It's time for you to, once again, find that inner urge, and not only to find the inner urge, but also to find that drive and move ahead with whatever goal, you had once set in front of yourself. Maybe, you had some goal. Maybe you wanted to do something. Maybe you had a dream. And, this was a temporary setback that you had to go through because of some situation. And again, I keep, I keep emphasizing that whatever it was, you had some responsibility in bringing it on yourself, right? And then whatever it is, it has temporarily deviated you, it has temporarily moved you from your path. So you need to now get back that inner urge, passion. You need to, once again, start moving towards your goal, and leave this aside, leave this, and so basically what you have to do is, you have to close that situation. You're not being able to achieve a closure on that past. And that's what is giving you, it's keeping you stressed, it's keeping you troubled, it's keeping you irritated. But you need to move ahead. That's what this Knight of Swords is talking about, right? You need to, once again, start spending your effort, your resources in a more better, more positive, more worthwhile pursuit. Yep, it's definitely some sort of a, emotional something that has left you high and dry. And again, so you need to definitely move away from that, right? So it's interesting that the Six of Cups over here has come out, upright, whereas the Five of Cups over here was reversed. So it's you are indulging. So when I see this Five of Cups over here, it's reversed. It feels like, rather than turning away from that, it's like almost, you are indulging in that. You are, getting. It's like, you are getting some sort of a morbid pleasure out of self-indulgence in all that brooding, in all that lamentation. It's like and sometimes it happens, we feel like the more we brood, the more we lament, the more we linger on with that unpleasant situation, we tend to get some sort of a, emotional pleasure out of it in a very weird, in a very morbid way. It's like we want to stay in that same dark hole. We don't want to go ahead, and find another direction, move towards light. That's what is happening with you over here. But a strong message for you is, especially when I look at the King of Wands, the Knight of Swords, and the Six of Cups over here. Move ahead, forget about that, rediscover your goal and charge fully, towards that goal, start spending more and more effort, behind positive pursuit. Yeah, the High Priestess. So it's very interesting that the High Priestess over here has come out reversed, and you have the Hierophant over here upright. So it's again, rather than listening to your own intuition, you have been listening more about, towards your own ego, maybe your arrogance, maybe your mind, right? And that's why, you have been largely responsible for whatever awkward situation, you have found yourself in so far. But you need to start trusting your intuition. You haven't been doing that. And again, next to the High Priestess, I have the White Witch, the Be the Light, right? So again, it talks about, rediscovering that light within, first of all, and secondly, spreading that light. So coming out of that rigid posture, be more flexible towards yourself and towards others, right? So trust your inner intuition, right? Get that courage back, get that inner drive back, get that passion back, charge towards your goal, right? And basically, force close the situation that has kept you back so far. Because again, I think, you are someone, who have potential, right? And it's just that, you are not exerting yourself. You have forgot to, to run for your goal. See, as I was saying, the leap, right? So this leap has come out again reversed. So you go, the universe will catch you, right? That is the clear message. So you are not going. You are not taking the plunge. You are just too happy to brood in that dark hole, right? And that's what the universe is saying, forget about that. Just take the plunge. We are with you, right? We are with you. Then the next card I have is, you are already doing it. Stop overthinking. Keep facing your true north. Right? So yes, I think again, it is what I was saying over here. If you remember what I was saying with regard to the High Priestess coming out reversed and the Hierophant over here. I was talking about you're placing too much trust on your mind, on your ego, on your arrogance probably, right? And when you place too much trust on your mind, when you let your mind fool around, that's what happens. Your mind will create all sorts of illusions for you. Your mind will create, all sorts of problems for you, and that's what, and you are going to get increasingly bound and tied down with all that problem, right? So that's why I think what's happening is you're thinking too much. And remember what I was saying over here with regard to the Five of Cups coming out reversed, and that you are brooding, you are lamenting too much. You are getting some sort of a morbid pleasure, in being stuck in that dark hole, right? But you need to come out of that. You are thinking too much, you are brooding too much, and more you are doing that, more you are getting stuck. You need to come out of that. The universe is calling you, that there's a new opportunity waiting for you, right? You have potential. It's just that, you need to stop overthinking. You need to, start putting more effort. And then that's where, you will be, successful. Because again, I see the hidden motivation. Right? So if you see this lady, there's this heavy drapes all around her. It's like hiding something, right? And again, when I see this hidden motivation and the High Priestess card over here, it talks about that again, the intuition. You are not seeing your intuition is telling you maybe to move on. Maybe your intuition, your inner self is telling you what needs to be done, how you can turn the wheel around. And you're not listening to that. Maybe some new opportunities are waiting for you that you are ignoring, right? And I see, over here, if you see the children playing around, there's an overall happy atmosphere over here that's waiting for you to discover, right? So this is another, meaning of this, so you're trying to forcefully keep away that bright future by, indulging too much in this dark past, right? So that's why you have to find that motivation. And remember, that's what I was telling you about the Eight of Pentacles over here too, right? You need to find that motivation. That's why it's hidden motivation. It is within you, but you're not finding the motivation. You need to find that hidden motivation. There's an you need to trust your intuition. You need to trust your inner calling. You need to trust that, you need to understand what are those opportunities that, you may be ignoring by indulging too much in this dark past, right? So this hidden motivation is very important, especially when I keep it side by side, the Eight of Pentacles. It both say the same thing. So rather than spending time and resources and energy in some worthwhile pursuits, you are just unnecessarily wasting all that energy in unduly, thinking about the past, thinking too much, overthinking, and so that is the whole problem over here. Again, the honoring path. So something is definitely waiting for you that's going to probably bring you more success, more glory, maybe more name and fame too, right? And when I see this honoring path and the Magician card over here, it's definitely, I repeat myself that, there's definitely some potential within you, some capabilities within you that you have been ignoring, that you have been willfully ignoring, right? So you need to understand that motivation, the inner calling, that's going to, if you follow that inner calling, right? If you take that leap, there's some bright future waiting for you where there's a lot of success waiting for you, right? And it also could be that people who have probably misunderstood you because of probably your own behavior to an extent, they may also, start seeing you for what you are. They may also, start respecting you for what you are. So they may also correct their own action, right? And so the last oracle card I have over here is discovery. Again, the same thing, right? If you see, there's some bright prospect waiting for you, right? It's like, you have suddenly realized, you have suddenly found something bright, something wonderful that is waiting for you. Again, so this one, the discovery, the hidden motivation, the high priestess, the white witch, the leap. There's so many cards over here that talks about the same thing. It's finding the inner drive, finding the inner passion, understanding what you have been ignoring so far, what the universe is calling you to do, trusting your intuition, trusting your inner calling, and charging full ahead towards a much more brighter prospect, but much more, brighter goal, rather than spending your time, wasting your energy in brooding in that dark past, not letting that chapter close. Close that chapter. Don't indulge in that, right? And so finally, I have two more, cards over here. These are like the small sayings, what the universe wants to tell you, right? So I have the opportunity card over here. This says, wondrous possibilities and opportunities await you. Stop dwelling on past mistakes. Surrender the past lovingly. There is nothing to regret. All is always in perfect and divine order. Everything that you have ever experienced has helped you in some way. The past is behind you. The path ahead is clear. Move forward joyfully and fulfill your heart's desire. This is all I have been saying so far, right? So it's clearly telling you that the message for you is loud and clear, my friends, that forget about the past. The universe is calling you to do something greater, something much more positive. And whatever has happened in the past, whether it's your fault or someone else's fault, or it's a combination of, both, it has only helped you, become more stronger. Learn more greater lessons about the life, right? That's why it's telling you everything is in perfect and divine order. Everything has helped you in some way. The past is now behind you. You need to discover that inner calling. The path ahead is clear. The universe is telling you your motivations. Try to rediscover that motivation. What is it? What you have been ignoring? Trust your intuitions. Be that, white witch. Be that light for yourself first and then for others, right? Be more stable and charge towards your goal. Leave behind all the past sorrows and close. That closure that has been waiting for you, you need to close that finally, right? And the final card I have over here is encouragement. Your love is invaluable to the earth and to those around you. See what I was saying about the white witch, the be the light, right? Even though you may not always see the positive effect your love has on others, trust, for it does. Each time you offer love through a loving gesture, thought, or word, you plant a seed of love. And love always generates more love. Trust and continue your loving work, right? And I think that's what probably, it's something to do with the hidden motivation over here, right? So it's, so maybe it's some indication of, of some happy prospect coming in your family life too. If you take on a more positive posture. If you discover that inner light and then start spreading that light of love around you, it may also serve you in getting some happiness that may have been missing in your family life to an extent, right? So I think overall, my group number 1, the message over here is, the course correction that you need to do is stop looking into the past. Stop brooding, stop lamenting, close that past, move ahead. You have lots of potential. Find your inner calling, listen to your intuition. There's a bright future. There's something, you have a lot of potential that you have been ignoring. Take that plunge. Universe is with you. What has happened so far has only made you much stronger, right? And it was all divinely ordained, right? So that's all I have for you, my group number 1. Hopefully, this resonated with you. If it does resonate with you, then please leave me a like and do subscribe to my channel so that I can bring more such videos for you, and do leave me a comment. I hope to see you in another video in the future. For now, I take your leave. Bye. Hello, my group number 2. For those of you who have chosen this obsidian, the black obsidian stone, it's a kind of a basaltic glass. This is for your group. We'll see what you have been currently going through and what course correction you need in the coming days, what the universe is trying to tell you. So I feel this group will be a little bit more inclined towards spirituality. It will be a little bit more like, it's like moving away from the mundane, moving away from the ordinary, and beginning to step onto more metaphysical side of things, beginning to step onto more spiritual side of things, right? It's like it talks about protection, right? It's like as if the universe is trying to protect you from all the negative energies. And you may have gone through a lot, this particular group, but remember, even when you feel like nothing worse could happen to you, and that you have seen the worst, and the universe has just given up on you, and no one is thinking about you. The divine, the divinity, the God, the ascended masters, they are always thinking about you. And because I sense that you people, even in your darkest moment, you are protected, right? You are always protected. You may have realized that, you may not have realized that. I think it has protected, and so it's whatever has happened in your life has happened probably for a reason, to force you to turn your thought process, to turn your attention away from more mundane side of things to more metaphysical side of things, right? So this is going to be a very, I guess, a more deeper reading for this particular group. So let me see what all you have. So Queen of Cups reversed. We have the Knight, the Nine of Wands reversed. So straight away, it's like, you are facing some adverse situation, and I sense some fatigue, some that inability to conquer or to fight against that adverse situation. It's like things have been too relentless for you. Things have been too non-stop for you, and that it's like you've almost given up facing up the situation, and you're almost like too drained to continue to face the situation, to continue to face the reality of life, to continue to face the harshness of life, right? Yeah, so too much unrest in you, too much unrest around you, that has caused too much turmoil in your surrounding situation, inside of you. And so there have been too many hardships, too many obstacles that has come out from different corners, unknown corners, that has left you kind of high and dry, right? Yeah, so you have lost, you have lost the ability to dream, it's like, it's almost like to an extent, you have lost your ability to consider, everything in a very straightforward way, in a very simple way, because of all that has happened to you, right? Because the Knight of Cups is a very young spirit, right? But it's like when it comes out reversed, I sense that you have been overburdened. So it's like very immature aging, very untimely aging. It's like you had to face too many things, and when you face too many things, you age. You age in a very untimely manner. It's like when people who have gone through too much stress, just to give you an example, and they have to bear too much of burden in life. Everything is going against them. Sometimes you will see that their hair turns, starts graying, right? And it's like you are aging before the time. That's the sense I get over here. Okay, so the Ace of Pentacles. So definitely some new opportunity. So this could be something to do with your emotional stress, your financial stress, or maybe a combination of both, right? Whatever you have gone through, and this may have been a prolonged affair for you. But I sense that with this Ace of Pentacles, maybe some new financial prospect, maybe some new opportunity, a little bit more positive opportunity is coming your way. Yeah, and then at the Knight of Wands. So yeah, it's like you have gone through all this. Now, the wheel may be slowly starting to turn in a more positive direction. And it's like you have to almost like force yourself to look beyond whatever is surrounding you and wait for that brighter prospect, right? And you need to once again rediscover that inner passion, right? Yeah, again, so the Knight of Cups this time has straightforward, right? So this is very interesting. So here in this case, you have the Knight of Cups reversed, and then from another tarot deck, you have the Knight of Cups in upright. So it's like almost telling you that whatever dreams. So you had stopped dreaming, right? Because of all this given adversity, you had stopped thinking that even anything positive can happen to you. Because you are so bogged down by negativities all around you, so much of adversity. Right? That's why this Nine of Wands is very important, the reverse. You had lost hope. You had lost that inner ability to dream, right? You were like too tied up, too exhausted, too fatigued. But now it's telling you that, the universe is telling you it's okay to dream once more. It's okay to, because some new opportunities are coming your way. So it's okay to, it's okay to start dreaming once more. It's okay to, start discovering that inner passion of yours, which you had lost, right? So the universe is, sending you some positive signals now. Again, the Nine of Swords. Again, so it's this basically emphasizes whatever is said over here. With the Queen of Cups reversed, the Nine of Wands reversed, and the Four of Swords reversed. It again talks about some deep emotional trauma, some hardships, a lot of adversities. So it basically just corroborates what I see over here, right? The Fool. So definitely with the Fool reverse, I feel like, as I was telling before, so you are given all this, all this darkness. So it's very difficult for someone to come out of that straight away, right? So that's why the Fool has come out over here. So it's so you need to leave that behind. See, the Fool, upright talks about a person taking the plunge, right? Whatever is behind him, it's positive or negative, it doesn't matter. He's ready to take a new plunge, right? And I think that's what you need to do, this particular group. That is what your course correction is needed. You need to take that plunge. You haven't been able to do that so far, at least till the time when you are seeing this reading, but that's what the universe is now telling you to do, to take that plunge, because some sort of a new opportunity is coming your way where you need to start dreaming again, where you need to start be hopeful of a little bit more brighter future. You need to start discovering that inner passion again. So that victory, that the Sixth of Wands, it talks about that victory which has so far eluded you, right? But you need to be open to new ideas, and I think that's what's going to lead you to some sort of a I shouldn't say victory over here, because victory is the wrong usage of the word. I feel like a success for you is waiting, but that success is in different form. It's going to come to you in a different way, different form. It's not a mundane success. It's not like a material success. It's something beyond that, right? Because all this hardship in your life was for a reason, right? And then what the success that is waiting for you once you take that plunge, right? And once you are open to new ideas, and I think this has also a lot to do with your instinct, right? Be open to instinct. Yeah. And I think, again, so I think the Six of Swords again relates to whatever has happened in the past, right? Maybe some sort of a deceit. It could be also that, in some ways, you have been confused, you have been conflicted. You may not have, generally what happens is whenever things are not working for you, no matter what you are trying to do, things are always turning up negative. You begin to lose hope. You begin to lose the ability to dream. That's what I was telling you over here earlier, right? And that's when you also go through a lot of inner conflict. So this is in addition to whatever conflict that may have been happening outside you. You may have been under a lot of stress, a lot of inner conflict. But I get the sense that course correction, what's changing for you, what you have been doing wrong, and what you need to change, that course correction that is needed, is to come out of this conflict, be open to intuition, be open to ideas, right? Because definitely some sort of a new opportunity is coming your way, right? And so be open to taking that plunge, and don't be stuck in this so much anymore. So definitely some sort of a milestone is coming for yourself. But I need to. I will pull those cards later on. I need to first. Let's see what this has over here. So White Witch. So be the light, right? So definitely, this is what I was telling before, right? So I think this adverse situation has made you much more stronger, right? It's made you. This is almost like a stepping stone. Because remember, when we are so engrossed in the material world, when we are so engrossed in the mundane world, the universe sometimes tends to, give us a kick on the back, or sometimes, it tends to, give us a push, literally the Fool card, right? To wake us up from whatever, we have been doing over the ages, over several lifetimes. Because unless the universe gives us that push, we will not start looking in a different direction, right? We will not start, looking in a different direction. And that's what's happening for you. So whatever, situations, you have faced in the past, it was universe's way of giving you a push. Because by doing that, you will be able to discover that inner light, right? I think that's what's coming up for you. And so I see the dance with life, okay? So do something to charge your energy. So again, maybe I think I get the sense that maybe some rest, some meditation. Meditation will be very useful for you guys. I think I will strongly suggest, you look into meditation. If you are initiated in some sort of a spiritual order, that's great. Otherwise, try to practice meditation. That will be definitely helpful for you, especially to calm your mind, calm your restless and conflicted attitude. Because again, you have gone through a lot of restlessness, gone through a lot of inner fatigue, turmoil, both inside and outside. So there's definitely time for you to heal yourself, to rest yourself, right, through meditation. What are you being called to journey to, Imrama, right? So, and that's what, I feel that is the greatest message for this particular group. So that's what I was telling you earlier, right? So there is a method to this madness, right? So whatever has happened to you, it's not at all very pleasant, but I sense that something positive is happening out of all that. Something positive is coming out of all that, right? It is that discovering that inner light, discovering that inner strength, right? What are you being called to journey to, right? I think that's where now I take up this milestone card, right? I think the milestone, it talks about some important achievement, some important event is slowly waiting for you, or is about to happen in your life, right? So this could be either some important. It could be as mundane as some important real events like a birthday, or maybe a marriage, or something, but something that's going to have a very important role in your life, right? Peace. This is very important, right? So I think, and this kind of tallies to what I was saying over here, right? So it's like, if you look at this picture over here, this lady, she has found peace because she has almost surrendered herself to the eternity, to the nature, to the universe, right? And you see this doves over here, they're the sign of
peace, love.
It's like the universe is telling you to discover that love. And again, this relates to this white light, the white witch, be the light. And then again, what are you being called to journey to? Right? So it's like, you're going to find that inner strength. You're going to find that after battling through so much, finally you're going to emerge much more stronger. You're going to emerge a much more better person. You're going to discover that inner light. You're going to learn to surrender. I think that's what's much more important, right? Because if you remember what I was telling you, when I was discussing this particular choice of your stone, no matter what has happened to you, you have been always protected, right? And I think that's why, the Fool card has come up over here, right? I think because the universe has been always protecting you. They were just testing your patience. They were just testing your resolve. They were just testing your attitude, right? And I think that phase is slowly now, it's coming to an end. And you have proved yourself. So now what's waiting for you is that when one comes to terms with their own inner strength, when one comes to terms, with the reality of life, that ups and downs are part of life, right? That adverse situations are there for a reason, right? And then, one slowly start discovering inner peace. When one understands the working of the universe, one start discovering inner peace. Then because you have faced so much, you will not be now swayed anymore by further troubles, because you have become stronger. You have found inner peace, or you are going to find inner peace, right? Now, and once you do that, you will also be a source of strength for others. That's why it says, be the light. You will also be able to guide others, right? And finally, I have the kindred partners. So definitely, I interpret this in two ways. One is either some sort of a loving connection is coming into your life, maybe some soul partner, some soul connection, right? It's coming into your life. This could also indicate the divine love, right? It could also indicate, the help from a divine master, from a guide, maybe a soulmate who's going to come into your life. Because, you have gone through so much, because you have sacrificed already so much, right? So now you have opened up your heart to receive that love from the universe. And that love is going to lead you to peace. That's going to lead you to strength, right? And I think that's why, you need to start trusting the universe more and more. Trusting, your own inner intuition, be open to new ideas, because definitely some new beginning is waiting to happen. It could also be, in some of your cases, this new beginning will bring you some better financial prospect, right? but definitely it talks about new beginning, new inspiration, new source of new dreams, new possibilities, right? Where you understand what is the greater purpose of your life. You get that inner strength, you get that inner love, you learn to slowly surrender to the universe, to God, right? And that's where you discover inner peace and you discover that inner love. I'm going to draw 2 more cards for you guys to get some more clarity about this. I haven't done that for the other groups, but I feel like for this particular group, I need to get some more. Let me see if the universe gives some additional message. Let me see what is there for group number 2. What else is there for group number 2? Wow, okay. Yeah, so definitely see that the 9 of Wands has come out again, right? So the 9 of Wands again has come out again and again in the same position, right? So it's basically, again, and the 2 of Swords also over here has come out, right? So definitely the lack of balance, lack of harmony, right? So there's no question that whatever you have gone through or whatever you may be still going through, it's not a very pleasant situation, right? But you have to remember that as I was telling you before, there's a method to the madness. Nothing happens in the universe without the reason. And this is going to make more sense to you. Let me see what else. What are the divine messages? I have these 2 cards over here for you that talks about some direct messages to you from the universe, right? So let me see what they have. First is invitation. We, your guardian angels, ask you to invite us into your heart. Talk to us at any time. Share with us your fears and concerns, as well as your joys and pleasures. There is no need to be formal, for we have known you since before the dawn of time. In fact, we know you better than you know yourself, and we love you just as you are. Such a beautiful message, my goodness. Like I think my group number 2, they are telling you in very clear terms that you need to trust them. You need to make place in your heart for them, because they know what is best for you. They know all your fears and concerns, as well as your joys and pleasures, right? So it is, again, that's why this Fool card has come up over here. That's why it is saying over here that, that what are you being called to journey to? So there's a clear, strong message about surrender, self-surrender, right? That's why, they had presented you with so much of hardship and challenges, because it was all meant to make you more stronger, more resilient, right? More trusting to the universe. Because you know what happens, the reason for all this hardship is because we don't really give up easily. We always try to fight. We always try to grapple, right? We always try to do things ourselves. That's why the universe, they create a situation where, you realize after one point that battling it out all by yourself is not feasible. Right? That's why, after too much of fatigue and helplessness and restlessness and doing this and that, fighting all sorts of conflict, that's why you have 2 of this 9 of Swords reversed, you finally learn to give up. You finally, look up to God and say, oh God, I cannot do it anymore alone. Please help me. Please show me the way. I think that's why the God comes in. That's why, the divine angels, they come in. They say, we know you. We are always beside you. Let us handle the situation for you. Trust in us. Surrender. When you start doing that, that's when you get the inner strength. That's when you find the in love. That's when you find the peace. That is what this invitation is telling you. It's telling you to invite God into your heart. And the final one I have is manifestation. Believe in yourself, trust your instincts, and follow your heart. For in doing so, you shall manifest all your heart desires. The life you have for so long aspire to create will soon manifest. So it again talks about your trusting your inner intuition. So both of these talks about trusting your inner intuition, surrendering to the universe. So the message is very loud and clear for this particular group. Whatever has happened, it was all meant to make you stronger, make you more resilient, to push you towards from a more mundane side to a more metaphysical, spiritual side, where you start to surrender to the universe, surrender to God, and always, you are protected. The intention over here for all these events was not to push you over the corner, right? It was all meant to, make sure that, you learn the lesson, you learn the real lesson of life. But you were always protected. Even in your darkest moment, you were protected because they were always with you. It was just a test of your resolve, a test of, it was meant to, show you another way. It was meant to turn your face away from the more mundane to a more metaphysical. I think that's all I have for my group number 2. So I hope, this will resonate with you and you will think about whatever I've mentioned in this reading. And it will help you guide and and correct whatever your things you may have been doing wrong, and look beyond your immediate happenings. So having said this, I'm going to now take your leave. Hopefully, if you like this reading, do give me a like and leave me a comment. And I hope to see you in another future readings in the future soon. And don't forget to subscribe. For now, I take your leave. Bye. Group number 3, for those of you who have chosen this howlite white crystal, it's some sort of a mineral of calcite. It's a variation of calcite. So this is your group. We'll see what kind of things you may be doing wrong right now, or what are you engrossed in right now that you may need to correct in the coming days, what kind of course correction you are needed. Group number 3, I immediately feel like for those of you who have chosen this crystal that you may be going through some stage of confusion, some inner conflict that's keeping you distressed, that's keeping you, a little agitated, little stressed. And so there's probably some need for calmness in your mind, in your life right now. There's probably some need for introspection, need for clarity in your life right now. I think that's why you have chosen this particular crystal, because it talks about calming, that calming nature. Also, maybe need for patience, need for balance, need for harmony. So I feel that is the thing that may be lacking in your life right now. But anyway, so we'll find out more about that as we go through all the tarots. So let's go into that. Okay, so straight away I see that a 5 of Pentacles, which talks about some hardship in your life. Maybe you are left out in the cold for some reason, either because of some emotional issues or some financial issues. So things have been a little bit tough for you. Then I have the Judgment card over here. I think it has come out reversed. So again, it probably talks about some lack of balance. Again, it talks about some possible lack of harmony, so let's see what else is there. The Moon. Okay, so my group number 3, obviously, you are probably, highly imaginative, right? And but I think right now there's some sort of an inner weakness. There's some inner illusion or lack of clarity, lack of, some sort of a inner issue. This could be also, something coming out of some emotional, some emotional event that may have happened in your life, like maybe probably some sort of an unhappy marriage, or a divorce or a separation. And when I see the Judgment and the 5 of Pentacles over here, it's also definitely, there's some financial issue going on, right? let's see what else you have. Yeah, so as I was talking about financial issue, I get the Ten of Pentacles. This is reversed. So again, it talks about an overall unhappy phase in terms of finance as well as in the overall, family life. And I think the finance, an adverse financial situation also affects the family life, because if you don't have that financial security, that will also bring some amount of unhappiness in the family life. So I think it's a mixture of some combination of finance, economy, money matters, and as well, some family life that is keeping you in a lot of trouble. But at the same time, I feel like, you people are very creative, and you people may be very imaginative, right? So, yeah, so you're definitely coming out of that, some relationship issue also, right? You're coming out of that, some sort of a phase, where some situation or someone may have inflicted some emotional wound for you, and I think this ties with this Ten of Pentacles coming out reversed, right? So it's a combination of different things. It's part financial, part relationship, marriage, family issues. So where one could be dominating the other a little bit, but overall, it has been a little bit of tough time for you. Yes, and you are definitely walking towards something, and you have been putting your hard labor for that, but I don't see that, getting fructified so far. I don't see that, has reached the level of maturity, the level of, or it has yielded the result that you have been desiring so far, right? Yeah, so clearly there's a lot of conflict going on. So I think there's a lot of inner conflict. That's what I was telling you earlier also when discussing this, the choice of this stone. A lot of inner conflict, and that has been responsible for your current hardship. It has probably compounded your current hardship, and it's like a positive feedback. It's like a cycle, right? Because when things go a little tough for you, a lot of confusions arise in your mind, right? And you tend to pass through that stage of lack of clarity, more confusion. You're not sure what to do, what is the best way to go forward. You are trying, but things are not working out. And that leads to further confusion, further, self-doubt, further lack of clarity. So, and it keeps on, it keeps on like going around and round and round. And when that happens, that affects your overall family life, your overall prosperity, your overall emotional happiness, balance, everything. I think that's the kind of thing that you are going through right now. Okay, so there's obviously some new love coming in, or maybe I get the signal of restoration of your existing relationship, or some new or some new love coming in. And again, you have been putting a lot of effort, in your in your pursuit. So I get the sense that my group number 3 that it's you have been walking towards something. You are expecting something in your life, right? And you have been putting your hard labor for that. But the irony over here is, whatever you have been working for, it may, it seems like, almost because of your overactive mind, because of this doubtful nature, because of this so much of inner conflict going on, because of this lack of inner balance, when the situation or when the opportunity does present itself in front of you, you may ignore it, right? And you may have done that also in the past, couple of times. and that has resulted in further compounding of your this misery, right? Yeah, and definitely I think you are some sort of a creative person. You are involved in this whatever this is that you are trying to work for. It involves some creative aspect of life. Maybe you are a writer, maybe you are a content creator of some sort, maybe you are a composer, a musician, or something that involves some creative aspect, right? And you have it in you. And it also talks about, a closure of some sort. So I think this phase, where, you have had to go through a lot of inner doubt, a lot of lack of clarity, this inner conflict, a lot of emotional issues, that has further compounded, your restlessness, further compounded your impatience, I feel like you're about to come out of that. I think that's where the change, that course correction. I think that is what this will be all about. Because I get the feeling that some new love connection, is coming your way, or maybe it also talks about healing your existing relationship. Finding the balance in yourself, finding the balance, in that relationship that has suffered because of the past financial stress, right? Yeah, again, so see the world, and then the Two of Cups over here, and then I have the Four of Wands over here, right? So definitely, you are approaching that new phase where it is more about a much more brighter phase, where it's more about overall success, it's more about more happiness in the family. So definitely you are coming out of that. And that's what I sense I got when I saw this Three of Swords reversed, right? So definitely you are beginning to come out of that emotional rut, right? And I see in the coming days, you are going to close that, and you are going to move towards a much more healing phase of life. Much more overall happy phase of life, where your family is there to back you up, where, for some of you, you may find new love in your life, new source of inspiration in your life, and that may actually help you to, move, to double down on your effort to whatever, you have been trying to work at. And yeah, so the lack of, so these three are very positive cards. So in the world, then we have the Four of Wands and then the Ace of Swords, right? So obviously the Ace of Swords talks about, some new beginning, so some more clarity in your life, right? So whatever, you have been failing to see, so far, I think you're going to now understand that. I think you're going to now grasp that. I think you're going to now get better clarity. You'll be able to come out of this inner conflict to a large extent, right? Or at least that is what is needed. Remember, this is all about course correction. It's not like, it's going to happen for you magically. I think this is what you need to walk towards. You need to close that chapter. You need to find that clarity. You need to find that, but that's going to bring more harmony in your life, right? And I think you will get some help. I think I do feel the need, the sense that some new person or some new connection is coming into your life, or your existing wound is going to get healed. And that's going to help you in your onward journey. That's going to help you get that inner clarity. Also, the Justice card reversed over here, right? And again, it talks about, that lack of balance, right? So I think the Justice over here and the Judgment both has come out reversed. So it again talks about a lack of balance. Maybe something wrong had happened with you. And I think this kind of ties in with what I was saying over here with regard to your family issues. Maybe someone has done something wrong to you in your family, in your marriage or in your relationship. Something happened, where you feel, it was not just for you. It was not right on the other person's part. And that had also caused some emotional distress in your life, right? So again, it's a lack of balance, it's some lack of justice. That's what I feel over here, right? Yeah, okay, so now I will look at some oracle cards. So the first one I have is the Mirror Guardian. Take time to reflect. Right, see, she's holding a mirror in her hand, right? And generally in the mirror, you're going to see your own reflection. And the question is, what kind of reflection you want to see in this mirror, right? I think it talks more about rediscovering that inner potential, rediscovering that inner quality, which you have tend to ignore, or which you have tend to put in the back burner because so far this lack of clarity and that too much of thoughts and unrest or an impatient mind, or maybe trying to do too many things at the same time, or not knowing what to do, what is the correct way to move forward, or maybe playing it too safe, right? I think that has held you back, and so as a result of that, you may not have realized your true potential, right? So that's why it has come out. So that take time to reflect. See, realize your inner qualities, realize what, and again, this ties with this Four of Cups over here, right? So it's something like, you have that ability to achieve something, but it's your inner conflict that has been the biggest obstacle. And whatever issues you have had in your family life or maybe in a relationship, that hasn't helped you either. That has set you back further, right? So now it's time for you to kind of do some deeper introspections. Yeah, see the crumbling. What are you clinging on to? So there's definitely a brighter prospect waiting for you, but you are not fully opening that door, right? You are still clinging on to that darker past, right? But there's a need for you to open that door, right? And let the brighter future fully emerge, right? So these are all very positive cards, but at the same time, it implies, so that this card, for example, and the world, they all imply that you need to put in some work, you need to get that inner clarity, right? You need to, so you are already doing the hard work. So physically, you are already doing the hard work, but it's more about mental issues. For you, I think it's more, fighting that inner demons, right? Because you are definitely hardworking. I think, you are prepared to put in the hard work, but it's more about that inner resolve, inner clarity, inner balance, driving away the inner confusions. That's what's holding you back now, group number 3. So that's what you need to correct, right? And then we have, let's see, Star Seed, what lights you up, right? So this has come out again reversed, and I think the way I read this card is again, you have to find that inspiration, what inspires you, what lights you up. In your case, I think it's what inspires you. You have to ask yourself. I think again, this kind of gives me the sense that you are not prepared to take that risk. You are playing it probably too safe. You are not asking yourself what motivates you. What can take you one step further, right? What is the inner drive? What is it that you want to do? Are you happy doing this? Because clearly you are not happy doing whatever you are doing, right? Clearly you are not happy because I sense a lot of financial issue. I sense you are still struggling, right? You are still hoping for a brighter future, brighter prospect, but at the same time, it is again, I keep coming back to that, right? At the same time, it is that lack of clarity. It is just tendency to play too safe. It is that too much of conflicting thoughts that is holding you back, right? So that's why, you need to get rid of that. You need to find that clarity, and you need to see and ask yourself, what is that inner calling? What is it that you can do, and then the universe is also pointing it out towards you, but you are choosing not to see it. It's commitment. So find that inner calling and be committed to that, right? Be committed to that. Drive away all that, be fully resolved inside. Drive away all conflicting thoughts. Once you know that, what is your calling, set your mind on that, and then don't look back, and don't keep, don't leave any place for any doubts anymore. I think that's what's happening for you. That's why it says commitment. Like, sign a contract with yourself. This contract with not any third party. It's like, you sign a contract with yourself. Okay, I'm going to go get this done. This is my goal. I have it in me to get it done, I will do it. That's it. Once you write the contract, there is no turning back, right? That's what this card is saying. Playing it safe. See, this is what I was referring to all the time, right? Amazing. So playing it safe. So clearly you are playing it safe, right? See, this girl, she's sitting in a fenced yard. She's not eager to explore the outside world. What's waiting outside? Maybe bigger possibilities are waiting outside, and you're exploring that. So there's definitely potential in you in some creative field, right? You are talented enough. You are putting in the hard work, but it's all about taking that next step. That's where you are not feeling confident, and that's what you need to do, right? And the final oracle card I have is true love. Now again, this talks about in a more regular sense. It talks about finding that soulmate, or finding that that loving connection. And remember, this is also significant because I have already talked about this when I was discussing the Two of Cups over here. So for some of you, you may get a new soulmate, or someone new walking into your life who's going to help you inspire, who's going to help you heal that past emotional issues, right? For some of you, or this could be also the restoration of your existing relationship, of your marriage, maybe ending of a separation. But for some reason, I also feel that this card kind of resonates with whatever we have seen over here with this mirror guardian. Take time to reflect. I think these two cards are very similar, right? In both, you are looking at the mirror and you're seeing your own reflection. So the question is, what kind of reflection you want to see, right? Is it the reflection of yourself that is full of doubt, full of conflict, full of hesitation, that inability to move forward? Or is it of someone who is very who's filled with inner resolve, filled with inner courage, strength, who knows what exactly to do, who knows what qualities they have, and how to make use of that? I think that is the kind of image of yourself you want to see in this mirror, right? I think that's what this true love is talking about. It's more about loving yourself, having faith in yourself, in your own abilities, right? Being committed to your own goal. Being committed to your own goal, right? And by doing that, you will be able to come out of this this rut that you are finding yourself in, that stagnation that you are finding yourself in, where you are putting in a lot of hard work, but you are not getting the desired result. As a result of that, there's a lot of this lack of balance, lack of harmony. There's some financial issues. So I think this is the course correction that you need to do. You need to find that balance back, find that clarity back, find that harmony back. You need to come out of that phase of tremendous self-doubt, and a brighter prospect is clearly waiting for you. You are someone, who has a lot of creative potential, but it's all about, you getting that inner resolve, making an inner contract with yourself, right? Understanding what you want to do and taking the next step, taking that plunge, right? And come out of that safe place, right? That's what I see over here, my group number 3. That is the strong message I get. And so don't ignore the opportunity that the universe is presenting towards yourself, because clearly you have put in a lot of hard work, but you have failed to reach that place that you deserve because of your own inner, it's like you are the biggest hindrance to your own success, right? So that's what you need to correct. And so I clearly see a lot of success over here if you can do that, right? Because I have the Ace of Swords, I have the Four of Wands, I have the World card. Clearly they also success. And clearly this card also show a brighter future waiting for you. So I hope, my group number 3, you will be able to fight and conquer your inner demons, and you will be reached in a much better place. And that's the course correction that I clearly see you need to undertake. Group 3, finally, I have the 2 oracle messages for you. And actually, I just realized that I hadn't included this as part of your original reading. These 2 cards were lying on the side over here, and I had actually missed them. So this is actually a later afterthought on my part to include these 2. just for the sake of completeness of your reading. And so pardon me if you notice any discrepancy in your reading because of this. But I didn't want to miss anything. I just wanted to make sure that whatever I had picked up for your group, I complete all the readings. So these are the two oracle messages that I have specifically for your group number 3. One of them, it says creativity. We, your angelic messengers, are here to help. Unleash the endless creative potential that you possess. Listen to the whispers of love inside your heart as we communicate with you through feeling and emotion. Let go of fear and apprehension and express the endless source of creativity you possess. Have fun and allow the inner child within you to express your true essence. All is valid. So I think obviously this is just further resonates what I had said earlier when I was doing your overall tarot, that you people have some creative spark within you, and it's just a matter of you finding out that inner calling, trusting your own intuition. I think that's what this message is also saying, that this is a clear message from your angelic guides, that they are beside you, they are willing to help you. You have to just unleash yourself, take yourself away from that safe space and listen to your inner calling, and they are there to support you, right? So let go of your fear and apprehension and express the endless source of creativity you possess. So it's a very resounding message for you. The last one I have is encouragement. Your love is invaluable to the earth and to those around you. Even though you may not always see the positive effect your love has on others, trust, for it does. Each time you offer love through a loving gesture, thought, or word, you plant a seed of love. And love always generates more love. Trust and continue your loving work. So I think both of these are, are endorsement from higher guides, from angelic, beings, that just go forward, trust your intuition, trust your inner calling, and it's your creativity. It's something that you love, something that you are passionate about, something that you want to do, and something that you are already putting in effort for. It's just that you need to trust yourself, you need to trust your ability, you need to come out of that safe space, make a contract with yourself, as I had mentioned earlier, and I think you should be good to go. And obviously there's some implication about spreading love and bringing in more love for yourself. And I think that's what we saw from the tarot decks also, right, where it was more about your self-love, trusting your own intuition, realizing your own potential, and then also spreading that same love through others, to others, through your work, right? So that's all I have for you, my group number 3. And sorry again, because if you notice some before and after discrepancy, because I found these two messages later on, and I didn't want to, skip them for your group. And so you may notice some discrepancy before and after this reading. And I'm sorry for that. So this is all I have, and hope this message resonates with you. If it does, please do leave me a comment, and don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. And I do hope to see you in another video in the future. For now, I take your leave. Bye. Hello, my group number 4. For those of you who have chosen this blue apatite crystal, this will be your reading. We'll see what kind of things you may be doing wrong and what you need to correct going forward. What is your way forward for course correction? So I feel this particular group, you may be having some issues, interacting with others, right? I think somehow I get the vibe that your group, you people tend to be little easily irritated, tend to be, little distrustful about others. You may not be interacting with others in a very fair manner. And again, when I say this, I don't want to come across as if, all of you are doing that. And even if you are doing that, no one is perfect. We all have different mistakes, and this reading is all about pointing us, hopefully, our mistakes so that, we can correct it. But I think for this particular group, you have some issues interacting with others, when it comes to your family, your friends, your well-wishers, your kith and kin, the way you interact with others and how they perceive you. There may be situations, where they may perceive you as, a person, who's easily irritable, who doesn't trust others, who doesn't know how to work with others, who is often, gets very short-tempered, gets angry very easily, when dealing with others, who may have a very lot of rigid mentality. So I think this is all about, overcoming that, those issues, overcoming those personality issues, and correcting yourself, so that you can have a more calmer nature. You can heal yourself. You can heal your irritability, come out of that overtly restless phase. I think that's what this crystal indicates, right? So it's an overall course correction for you in terms of more about correcting your own personality, right? So anyway, so I will go into the tarot cards first, and then I'll have two specific messages for you. We'll go into this at the very end. So I will keep this at the side for the time being. So let's start with your tarot cards. Okay, so eight of wands reversed, right? So yeah, so it's some confusion, some inner conflict, that you are not being able to fight adequately, right? And some confusion, conflict, illusion, something like that going on. Yeah. And you're not being able to move away from that, right? You are getting trapped in that same pattern, same trait again and again and again, right? So we need to move out of that. Yes, so obviously there is, your intellect, your decision is not being, is not guiding you in a proper way, right? So as a result of that, when someone's intellect, when someone's, discriminatory power, right? That power to discriminate between right and wrong, what I should do, what I shouldn't do, right? What is correct for me, how I present myself, the way I deal with others, if that discriminatory power is not working in your favor, then you may often do things, or often end up acting in a way that may portray you in a very wrong manner in front of others, and as to how they perceive you. So it could very well be that as a person in your heart, you are not a bad person, right? But it's just that how you're interacting with others. Yes, and I think others may feel like you are either leaving them high and dry, right? Because it's like you are deserting them when they need you the most. That they cannot rely on you, they cannot trust you fully. That you may be irresponsible, or that you may have commitment issues, things like that. And it's also coming from in a way from your own inner conflict, in your own lack of discrimination as to what you should do, how you should act, right? Yes, so obviously there is a need to rediscover that inner child, that inner straightforwardness, that simplicity, that is the way that more youthful behavior, and because remember, children often can teach adult, right? Because children tend to be more simple, more innocent in their dealings with others, right? They are not very complex, overtly complex compared to adult. I think in your case, this is you need to follow the examples of children, right? And try to remove that complex thought process that may be overwhelming you a lot of times. Again, so see, we have the Queen of Swords reversed, we have the King of Swords reversed. Both of them very strong card, and they both have come out reversed, right? So it's clear, yes, it's a clear signal. Plus I have the Five of Swords over here. and the Seven of Wands. So I think pretty much all of these cards that has come out so far, except for this one, it talks about someone whose intellect is not favoring him or her. His intellect is misguiding him or her, right? And again, it is, you need that discrimination to discriminate between right and wrong, how you should act, how you should treat others, how you should behave yourself, how you should carry yourself across society or in society, right? And again, some of this, may not sound too pleasant for you, but I think my group number 4, whoever is watching this, you probably resonate with this because you already know what mistakes you may be doing and how you are suffering yourself because of that. Again, the lack of balance, lack of harmony, right? So it's because if you don't have that harmony, if you don't have that sense of balance within you, if you are very restless inside yourself, then obviously you are going to portray a very restless nature, very angry nature, very irritable nature to all others, right? And I sense that you are probably, more than how others suffer because of you, it is you yourself who's probably suffering the most because of your own restless nature, because of your own so many conflicts, so many confusion, so many inner agitations, right? Maybe ego issues, you are getting unnecessarily egotistical about some other's achievement. Maybe, you have some trust issues, right? Maybe you're getting overly paranoid about something, right? And so that's what is coming up over here. I sense an acute lack of, that balance, lack of harmony, a lot of inner conflict and confusion. Yep, and as I was saying about your own suffering, this came out, right? The Nine of Swords. So obviously, you are also probably suffering a lot because if you cannot interact in a proper way with your near and dear ones, who may be your well-wishers, right? Then you may feel lonely at times. You may feel deserted. You may feel like as if no one is caring about you, where the fault is actually rests a lot on you because you haven't been able to reciprocate in a proper way. You haven't been able to act responsibly towards others, right? And so that's why you are end up suffering the most. So you are none the happier over here too. So there's definitely some needs for course correction. I think this reading, probably applies to your group the most. And I think that's why another thing is group number 4. I have picked up the most number of cards for you guys, right? So I think for you guys, I have the most number of cards to show and go through. So there's a lot of clarification. I think this particular group needs more guidance, more clarification, more in need of course correction. So there's definitely a need for new inspiration, right? Some new, that light bulb moment, right? It calls for some, for you to realize what you are doing wrong and some definite course correction. I think the Star and the Knight of Pentacles, they both, talk about that new inspiration, to finding that childlike quality inside you, rediscovering that, and moving away from all the negativities, right? Yeah, so definitely, you love interacting with others, but at the same time, it's kind of an irony. You love interacting with others, but at the same time, you are very extrovert, but at the same time, you don't know how to properly deal with others. And I think this often happens, because the more you try to interact with others, the more extroverted nature you are, the more your sense of happiness, your sense of well-being depends on external conditions, depends on, your so-called friends, parties and societies. The more, you likely, you're going to get hurt because obviously the more you interact with others, the more chances are that, the people are going to talk behind your back, people are going to bitch about you, people are going to say not so nice things about you. And you may be also indulging in the same thing. So as a result of that, as per the law of karma, the same thing is coming back to haunt you, right? So there's overall a need for you to move away from that, maybe a little bit become more, little bit more introverted, find that new inspiration, discover the childlike qualities. Yep. So you're suffering. You're suffering definitely because the Ace of Cups over here reversed plus the Nine of Pentacles. There's a lot of emotional issues going on. Right? Obviously, even you are not a very happy person. You are also emotionally drained. A lot of grief, lot of sorrow, lot of loneliness because of your dealings. And again, you are stuck in that. It's like you are in that endless rut that keeps on repeating itself, because the Tower over here is reversed, and then I had the Six of Swords over here reversed. It again talks about that cycle that is being repeated again and again and again and again, right? So there's definitely a dire need for you to move away from this, my group number 4. And again, for you guys need the course correction the most. So be the light, move away from all these negativities, be more introspective, right? Discover your own negativities. I think no one knows their negative qualities. Actually, it's the other way to put it is, you are the best person to judge yourself. You are the best person to realize your own negativities and to correct them, right? No matter what others say, you know yourself, like what you may be doing wrong, how you are thinking not straight, how you may be, you may have acted irresponsibly in the past, how your anger and your short temper, your lack of balance may have hurt others in the past, right? So you need to, as you are hearing this, I think you are probably resonating with that, or at least some of that, and hopefully you will try to correct that, right? So no, right? It says wait, postpone, pause, say no, right? This come out reversed. So obviously you are not saying no to those negative qualities that are dominating you, that lack of discrimination, there's too much of irritability, confusion, lack of clarity, how you are dealing with others, lack of responsibility. You need to move away from that. Obviously, that is what this reading is all about, saying no to all that. You are not saying it yet, but you need to start saying no to all that negative propensities. Right? Unbound. Yep. Releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. Unbound. So again, this is in the same tune as as the Tower card coming out reversed, and then the Six of Swords coming out reversed. You need to unbound. You need to move away from all these negative propensities. You need to free yourself from all these negative things that are pulling you down, that may not be letting you realize your fullest potential, right? You need to start moving away from all that, right? So that's what you need to do. So that this message is very loud and clear. And again, my group number 4, remember that I have pulled the most number of cards for your group. So as the cards, start, revealing themselves and they emphasize this message again and again, I think, you are going to, hopefully you're taking some message home as to what you need to do. So back and forth, right? So it's a reverse, right? So I think back and forth clearly talks about that lack of balance, that lack of clarity, it's confusion, right? You don't know what to do and how to act. So you need to obviously come out of that. That's why it's come out reverse. So you need to be very clear in your thinking, very clear in how you act with others, very clear in how you treat yourself. Do you want to go down this path of negativities? Do you want to go down this path of unnecessarily anger, irritability, which is probably hurting you the most? Or you want to change your course, and walk down a different path, much more straighter path, right? That will be much more better for you. I think that clarity is needed for you, and that's why this card has come out reversed, right? So rather than the confusion, rather than the lack of clarity, you need to now be more focused, right? More clear on your path. Taking steps. Again, the same thing is coming up again and again. Taking step is reversed. So that means obviously you are not taking step, right? And taking step towards what? Taking steps towards progressing towards a more brighter prospect. Moving away from the negativities, right? Moving away from all your negative propensities, right? It's come out reversed. And again, this is all this is about, right? These are all coming out reversed because you are still not doing that. You are still not moving away. You are not still taking steps to move away from those negative characters of your, from those negative traits of your personality. You need to clearly move away, right? So this taking steps over here, the unbound, the no, see, they've all come out reversed. So you are not being able to unbound yourself from that trap. You're not being able to say no. That's why the Six of Cups has also come out reversed. The Tower is also reversed. Look at how the things are repeating. It's like they are hammering on the same message in the hope that you are going to listen to this and you're going to start correcting yourself. It's a dire need for you to find new inspiration, right? Be more childlike. Behind a mask, again same thing, reversed. So I think this behind a mask and the Five of Swords over here, they kind of corroborate each other, right? It's like, you have some deceptive angle of your personality, some deceptive aspect of your personality where people cannot fully trust each other. And maybe, in a lot of your cases, you are not a bad person at heart. But it's just that for some reason, what you are portraying or what you are projecting to others get the sense that, that you cannot be relied on, you cannot be trusted, that, you are too complex of a person. Right? And so they stay away from you. They cannot fully trust you. Right? That's why she's saying behind the mask. You need to unmask that. You need to unmask. You need to reveal your true face to others. Right? What you are. People should be able to interact with you and know you for what you are. So don't stay hidden behind this mask. I think that's what you are doing. You're putting on a mask that is, that is putting off others. That is putting off others. That's why they feel like they cannot rely on you, and that's in turn is leaving you alone, and leaving you with a lot of emotional issues to deal with. You need to come out of that, and this could be also partly because your own lack of discrimination, your own lack of proper judgment, is probably leading you to portray a very false image about yourself. Right? So please pay attention to this. Again, hidden motivations, right? Again, the same thing. It's like people often, when they're interacting with you, they feel like, there is probably some ulterior motive in the way you're interacting with them. They may not feel very easy for some reason, when they are talking to you. They may feel that, you always have some ulterior motive, some other reason, for in interacting with them. They always feel like, you may have a very selfish motive for whatever you do. So you need to, make that, come out of that. So that, you need to present an image of yourself. And sorry, I take back that. You need to present yourself, your true identity, so that people can learn to trust you. People can learn to rely on you, and be focused on your approach. And the final card I have is, a creative endeavor. Again, reversed. So it's like, again, it talks about, because you may be spending too much time in unnecessary, maybe partying around, in unnecessary, so-called socializing, superficial interaction with people, very engrossed in your own false persona, how others are seeing you, how you are projecting yourself to others, and you are spending too much time, in interacting with others, and in dealing with the repercussion from that, you're indulging in all these so-called gossips, and then the fallback from that, the emotional issues from that, and you're stuck in that. That's why you're not being able to better spend your resources, better spend your energy in more meaningful pursuits, more creative endeavors, right? That's why this has come out reversed. So I think overall, my group number 4, it's a very, 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 very strong and clear message for you that, there's definitely more, the most need for course correction for your group, right? Because, so deal with that conflict, deal with inner conflict and outer conflict, deal with the confusion, lack of clarity, deal with the discrimination, right? Remember, again, you may not be a bad person at your heart, but try to think, what are you doing wrong so the people misunderstand you so much, so that you project such a wrong image. Maybe you need to be more responsible. Maybe you need to step up more when others need you, right? Maybe you need to be like a friend in need, is a friend indeed. Maybe you need to become an ideal husband or an ideal wife. Maybe you need to become an ideal friend or an ideal child, right? So deal with your own inner lack of harmony, lack of balance first. Find the inspiration, bring back that balance, discover the childlike qualities inside you. Try to be more innocent. Don't try to look at the world, through a very tinted glass, right? Be more childlike. Observe a child, how they interact, how they behave with others, right? And once you have found that inner balance and inner harmony, be that light, right? Discover that inner light. And once you have removed, discover that inner light, found that inner balance and harmony, and you have been able to move that mask from your face, and you have let others see you for what you are, they will again start treating you with respect, start treating you with the proper regard. So step up, find the inner balance, chip in wherever it's needed, wherever people need your help, step in, do your bit, act responsibly, find the inner balance, find the inner harmony. Don't remain in the same negative rut that you are right now. Find the inner light and try to spend more time in introspection and in more creative and meaningful pursuit, rather than wasting too much time on socializing and on outdoor activities and mingling with others. And outdoor activities, like going for a hike and all that stuff is fine, but if you're wasting too much time with socializing and mingling with friends and partying, that may be causing you more harm. And so finally, I have two of these messages that I mentioned earlier. One of them is the prayer. Dear guardian angel, help me to be flexible in my attitudes and beliefs. Right? Help me not to fear the transient nature of life. Help me to remember the eternal light which emanates from my soul, and the eternal light which emanates from the heart of every living being. Help me to remember that I am eternally guided and loved by God and all creation. So it talks about, being more transparent in your behavior, be more flexible in your attitudes and beliefs. So being less rigid, that's what this, the King of Swords over here and the Queen of Swords indicated, the being reversed, being less rigid, right? And treat others with respect. That's what this says. Help me to remember the eternal light which emanates from my soul and the eternal light which emanates from the heart of every living thing. So to the ability to love others, to trust others, to be able to help others, to become a more useful member of a society, more contributing member of the society, right? That's what this card is calling you to do. Help me to remember that I'm eternally guided and loved by God and all creation, right? So to see that, to treat everyone as God's children, this is God's creation, and to treat everyone with that due respect. Once you start doing that, remember it's like a mirror. Once you start doing that, you will see that people are also beginning to, treat you with respect, right? They are going to also start treating you with respect, with the regard that, that you deserve, right? So just start doing that, my group number 4. And the final message is invitation. We, your guardian angels, ask you to invite us into your heart. Talk to us at any time. Share with us your fears and concerns, as well as your joys and pleasures. There is no need to be formal, for we have known you since before the dawn of time. In fact, we know you better than you know yourself, and we love you just as you are. It's a very beautiful message, my group number 4. So I think for some reason, if you feel like you are not good enough, and if you have any sort of a complex, inferiority complex or superiority complex, that you are using as a ploy to hide your true self, come out of that. Everyone is God's children. Everyone deserves the same respect and love in this entire creation, right? And remember, what you give out will come back to you. If you give out negative vibes, if you give out negative energies, if you give out negative vibes, that's going to come back to haunt you, and that's what's happening in your life, right? But if you start giving out light, inner purity, inner love, light, joy, happiness, trust, responsible behavior, kind, compassionate nature, is going to also come back to you. People are going to start treating you with respect, lot more respect, lot more high regard, right? And you're going to be able to come out of this rut that you find yourself right now. So I think that's all I have, my group number 4. Hopefully this message resonates with you, and hopefully you find out the inner calm, inner balance, and you turn your personality around so that you're a more useful, responsible, loving member of the society and of this planet Earth. I have all the best for you, and I hope this resonates with you. So please don't forget to like and subscribe my channel, and I hope to see another video in the future. For now, I take your leave. Bye.